away from the new year, our new year. Our new year is not the 1st of January, but the Hindu New Year starts with Chaitra Navratri, which is now just 3 weeks away. So I thought let's just start by getting something out of the way first, which is, who is Durga? We all talk about, and there's so much talk of feminine power and femininity, especially during these times of Navratri that we all celebrate. But Durga for many is not just, I mean, even in Vedic astrology, we say that when really things go out of hand, completely out of hand, very unfortunate incidents, she is the one to go to, literally. And the reason for that is because every god gave a part, every devta gave a part of himself to create her. So whenever you're really at crossroads and you are just, you have no other, nothing to really look forward to, no hope, she is who you must go to. So who is she really? She's a union of, I mean, she's like a masculine power in a female form. She's a union of Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati. So all three. Everything is very three-dimensional in our Sanatan. So she's a very good union of all of these. Now, Lakshmi is someone who really provides for us. Saraswati is the one who helps us progress. And, Ma Kali is the one who protects us. So when you have a confluence of all these three things inside of you, what does that make you? Durga. And Durga literally means something that is invincible. Durga means something that's very difficult to defeat. So that makes all of us invincible. That's really what Durga is. That's what the Shakti is. That's what Shri is. Yesterday, I was with a very well-known Shri Sadhak, Vinita ji, and we were talking about Shri Vidya, and she said that Shri actually comes from the word ashray. And that doesn't mean that you're giving ashray to others. It means you give ashray to yourself. That's who you really give ashray to. So during Navratri, we do the 9 nights of Durga, etc. It's not about the day, by the way. It's always about the night. But during Navratri, maximum prayers are not offered to Kali or to Mahalakshmi. Maximum prayers are offered to Ma Saraswati. Did you all know that? That maximum prayers are offered to Ma Saraswati because Amritam tu Vidya, which means that knowledge is immortal. I mean, think about it. Everything goes. You, me, everything. There is an expiry date to everything, but not to knowledge, right? So if you want to access that femininity inside of you, that Durga Shakti inside of you, that power, that fearlessness, then first and foremost, you have to conquer your mind. That's what you have to do. Because Buddhi Shakti is the most powerful Shakti. Even in the Durga Shakti, if some of you have read it and some of you practice it, maximum demons were killed by Saraswati. So Buddhi Shakti, Viveka Shakti, and Pragya Shakti. That's what this is all about. It's a supreme combination of the mind and wisdom which can never falter. And that's where we have to build our edge, really. You know, there's a saying, when you want to taunt a man, you say, "Aap chudiyan pehen lo." What is the significance of this chudiyan pehen lo? What is a bangle for a woman? A bangle is something very delicate, but it kind of means that a woman can get her family, because Ma Kali, one avatar of Durga, Ma Kali, will protect. A woman can get her family out of the most delicate of situations. That's why, this chudi is so significant. That's what it means. That's why we say, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Matri Rupena Samstitah Namastasya 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 Namo Namah. Right? So this is just saying that there is the mother goddess that resides in each and every one of us here, and salutations to her. So when we say Shri, start by understanding that you are your own ashray. You are your own Shri. And all of us have this confluence of Mahakali when need be. Mahalakshmi when need be, and Mahasaraswati when need be. Mahakali is, yes, the furious form of goddess Durga, most protective. When does a woman really become Kali for her family? To protect, right? I mean, think of a woman holding a child, infant in one hand and fighting with a sword and all of that. So that's Ma Kali. Um, Even when a child is born, ancient practice was that you had a family doctor and you had a family astrologer. So everyone would go and ask that. There are three things always. What is the Ayu Arogya, longevity of this child? That is Ma Kali. She protects our longevity. She protects our lifespan, right? And how much will this child study? Pad likh ke kuch banega. So that again is Ma Saraswati. And will he be able to stand on his own 2 feet and be independent? That is Mahalakshmi. So again, all of these things tie in to really making a complete person, whether man or woman. Mahakali is that power, that protection that also plays, the role of, say, a mother provider. Because, Kali is also a roop of Mata Parvati. It's confusing, I know. There are a lot of different forms of that one Parvati. Kali is one roop of Ma Parvati. Like Ma Annapurna, the one who fulfills all our desires, whatever it is that we want. She's also a roop of Parvati. Interestingly, when Shankaracharya had to ask for something from Annapurnama, he asked, he kind of told her that you can give me everything. Annapurna Ma can give us everything we want, everything we desire. And it's okay. This path, this spiritual path, doesn't mean that we have to give up everything. No, it's okay to live in this material world. It's okay to want, of course, at a certain level, have a comfortable life. So Adi Shankaracharya asked her, told her that you can give me everything. You can give me anything I want, anything I desire. I know you will fulfill it. But Bhiksham Dehi, he asked for Vairagya and Gyan. He asked for something supreme. So when you set your standards so high, the rest, of course, will always follow. But Shakti is really that Gyan, Vairagya, detachment. Living here, doing what you have to do, doing what you have to do for your family, for yourself, to fulfill your own needs, for self actualization, but all the more realizing that this is transient. You know, Mahalakshmi, Namaste, we talk of this beautiful prayer called the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. Namas, uh, Namaste Mahamaye Shri Pithe Surapujite Shankh Chakra Gadahaste Mahalakshmi Namostute Sarva Papa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute. So again, Mahalakshmi, yes, she's the one that makes or gives that color in our life. She's connected to the planet Venus. And I will come to that in a few minutes because I do want to talk about Moon and Venus. They're very, very key to this discussion. So just a second, I think I have something disturbing us. So I will come to Moon and Venus. That's basically what I do want to talk about. But Lakshmi is directly related to Venus, the planet of love and romance and comforts and ladies, your bags and diamonds and things like that. So Mahalakshmi, um, we all pray to. Diwali Puja is such a big thing, you know. कहते हैं कि भगवान को to please him we give him all the Mahalakshmi things. लक्ष्मी को बुलाने के लिए हम सारी महालक्ष्मी की favorite things we do. So during Diwali Puja, I've seen so often that people just do puja of Ganapati and Mahalakshmi, but they completely forget about Ma Saraswati. Because while Ganapati ji will remove your hurdles, Ma Lakshmi will give you all that you want. But if you don't have the wisdom, the gyan, the buddhi shakti to keep that, to hold it, to use it wisely, it will be of no good. So always during your Diwali puja, very, very important for you to keep
पेपर
this
काढून
trinity, to keep this trinity going of Ganapati, Mahalakshmi, and Ma Saraswati, right? I mean, we talk of so much now that a girl is born in our home, Lakshmi ji aaye. But again, um, look at the abhorrence now that a lot of ladies have to Kanyadan. Kanyadan doesn't mean that you are being donated. Dan is a word in that sense. It's actually one of the most fruitful and most auspicious danams in the sense that a father is giving his own Lakshmi in the hands of Narayan, Lakshmi's husband, and to start a life together. So that she is not tied down here. So that she and this Narayan Rupi Damad, as we say, will together create a life together. So it's very misunderstood that it's a beautiful ritual, completely misunderstood today. But remember, when it comes to Lakshmi, if you do offer prayers to her for your comfort and love and relationships and things like that, you always have to offer prayers to her husband first. Because unlike all of us, she will not go anywhere where her husband is not respected and given his due. So whenever you offer prayers to Mahalakshmi, make sure that you always pray to Vishnu first. That is her consort. Now, there are 8 types of different Lakshmis. You know, Lakshmi is not just Dhanam, Dhan. There's Adi Lakshmi, Dhanya Lakshmi, Dhairya Lakshmi, Gaja Lakshmi, Santan Lakshmi, Vidya Lakshmi. 8 different types of, that's why it's Ashta Lakshmi. And Lakshmi actually means Laksh, means what is your laksh, what is your aim, what is your goal. Your goal could be having a beautiful family, your goal could be having a great career, your goal could be developing patience, your goal could be, like when we talk of Dhanya Lakshmi, that's the harvest, a fruitful harvest. Have you ever seen a farmer after he's had a very bumper crop, even in his tattered clothes? Look at the expectations that he puts to that crop. मैं अब अपनी बेटी की शादी करूंगा. I'm going to send my son to school. That's Dhanya Lakshmi, right? We talk of Vidya Lakshmi, you know, because Lakshmi is Madhusudana Kamini. Madhusudani Kamini means means that she knows the smallest desire of भगवान विष्णु, which is her consort. So वो हमारे हृदय में बसती है. She knows exactly our deepest, darkest wishes, and she comes to fulfill them. So when we talk of Lakshmi, always remember there are 8 types of Lakshmis, and that's why we always offer prayers to Ashta Lakshmi. But when we talk of Ma Saraswati, you know, the one we need the most whenever we set up any puja altars, never forget Saraswati, because that is the ultimate. She is the ultimate. She killed the maximum demons, even more than Kali. Kali killed Raktabij, yes, but the maximum demons were killed by Saraswati, Buddhi Shakti. Okay, so Saraswati is that wealth that will always be with you. Okay. So when you talk of Women's Day and all of that, remember that it is a balance of all 3 that we need. Look at the roles that we all play and everyone plays. You're a mother in one instance. You're a sister, you're a daughter, you're a colleague, you're a friend, you're a daughter-in-law. There's so many roles that you have to cater to every day, right? So what is really at the center of all of our lives? You know, if we ask each other, what is it that we want the most? We want to be happy, right? We can only be happy in that case if we have a balance and equilibrium in our mind. And that is where the planet Moon in Jyotish comes in. Moon is something you and I, you may not know, but it is central to your being, absolutely central to your being, because we are all 70% water, 70% water. And if the moon can influence an ocean and create tides in an ocean, then do you think that the moon doesn't affect you emotionally? It absolutely does. From your period cycles to everything is based on the moon. Everything. To understand the moon and how to improve the moon is very important. Moon is actually the water system in your body. The heart is pumping this water, and this water is distributed all over your body in the form of what? Blood, right? So the soul, we talk about the soul and Surya. Surya is the generator, right? And the distributor of this water system inside of us is always the moon and Venus, two planets. Have you ever thought? I mean, we talk of the five different elements. Panchadashi is very big in Sri Vidya. But at the basis of it is the five elements. We have five elements: fire, water, earth, ether, right? And the last one being fire, water, earth, air, the air element. What is the difference between you and a tree outside? The only difference is that the tree has 70 to 80% earth element inside it. It's grounded, so it cannot get up and move around like we can. We have jala inside of us. We have fluidity inside of us. We are 70 to 80% water. Do you understand? So we are able to move around. So it's the different configurations of these elements inside of us that creates each and everything, right? From this cup to this lamp to this curtain, everything. We are basically these five elements, Panchabhut. Okay. Now, why moon is so important? Because even when people are very emotionally disturbed, people are very agitated, right? I will always tell them to take the metal of the moon, which is silver, place some water in it, and put it right in front of you, and do a jap of any mantra that resonates with you. Okay. After you've done that, drink that water. What happens? You see, water holds memory. Why do we go to, say, the Golden Temple, or why do we get the Amrit? Why does it become Amrit? Because for 700 years since the conception of the Golden Temple, there is mantra jap going on. That water is completely charged. You can charge your water. That's why everyone says, be careful of what you're saying to yourself. You're a water body. That water holds memory of everything that you say. So be very careful. If you are feeling emotionally distraught, take a silver glass, put water in it, and do your job. And then drink that water. It's charged water. It will begin to help you. It's like Amrit inside of your system. So, Moon and Venus are your two water bodies. Two water bodies, right? Moon is the source of the water system of the world, really. Venus is like the distributor. Now, think about it like this. How did you sort of land up in your mother's womb? Anyone? Shivani, am I allowed to make it a little interactive?
Yes, completely. This is your session. Please. Friends, unmute yourself and please interact with Bani.
Our
How do you
soul,
think?
our
How do
soul.
you think that we are? How do you think that we are transported to our mother's womb?
Mitaji, would you like to add something?
No, I was just saying that our soul, maybe it chose, that okay, this is the place I want to go.
Okay, through water, yes. Some comments coming through water, yes. But you are transported first into your father's semen. It's a watery element. Then from your father's semen, you go straight to your mother's. Then after that, you are in a water body, in a water bag. When the bag bursts, again a water element, you then arrive on planet Earth. Correct? So all of this is a water kind of medium through which you are conceived and you are finally delivered. It's like a transportation system that Venus is in charge of, right? So moon is vital. Understanding your moon, and we all have a different placement of moon. You've heard astrologers I put up so much reels about moon, Virgo moon people, Gemini moon people. You're going to have a slightly sensitive time coming up, etc., etc. So it depends on where your moon was at the time of your birth, and that sets the stage for your emotional makeup completely. All of us have a certain emotional makeup. Some of us get angry very quickly. Some of us are very emotional, very sensitive. All of these things come from where? From the moon, the water content that you have inside. If you have lesser water content, if there's a problem with that water content, it will resonate in your emotions, and those emotions then resonate in your relationships. So that's why we say that offering water to Lord Shiva is something very beneficial for the moon, or doing Mahadev sadhana is very beneficial for the moon, because he wears the moon as Chandrasekhar. He wears the crescent moon on his head. You will see that the moment your moon is weak in your, say, birth chart, you will have a troubled relationship with your mother, mother figures, mother in laws, all of that will then come by. Okay. For water element related things, we always say Krishna. We always say Goddess Durga. Again, the mother. Go to the mother. Because she does control the water element. So a simple mantra, Om Dum Durgaye Namah, right? The moon, when it's very strong, ladies, and you'll be able to know, I mean, you all know yourselves, you'll have fame, you will have recognition, you will have popularity, you will have that charisma, you will have a very cooling, nourishing kind of temperament. People will come and pour their hearts out to you, and you will have peace of mind above all and inner contentment. Okay, we all know that those waves keep hitting us. Ups and downs will always happen, but that peace of mind that comes from a strong moon is a very internal thing, right? So the ability to make the most of what we have, and that is how we can be happy, keep our families happy, look after our children. I mean, if we can't be there for ourselves and be a shelter to ourselves, we can't be a shelter to someone else. So my basic point is that get your moon to be strong, get your mind to be strong, get your emotions in control. A lot of life is about how you face the karma that has been destined your way. And that mental equilibrium is what will make you fortunate. When the moon is weak in a birth chart, automatically you're very fickle. You are very changeable, because you know the moon waxes and wanes. Okay. That's why one day we're feeling lonely, one day we feel happy, one day we're feeling depressed, one day we're we're experiencing difficulties in life. I mean, our emotions are going all over the place, right? So these cycles and phases of the moon are very central to creation, destruction, birth, rebirth, all of these things, because they are central to Shakti. Just like the moon waxes and wanes, Shakti's energy flow. Shakti's energy also flows through the phases of creation, preservation, destruction, dissolution, right? So I do, I thought that I would explain the phases of the moon to all of you. If I can, Shivani, can I share my screen?
Yes, Bani, let me give you access to it. Yes, you have an access, please. Are you able to?
One. Some reason I'm not able. 1 second. Okay, let me just sort of explain it in a different way.
No, I think I have given you an access to screen share.
I don't know why it's not happening.
Let me make you co-host and make it
Okay,
more.
Durga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. We can see your screen.
Okay. So, phases of the moon are where all our emotional ups and downs come from. And it's a documented thing. Maximum suicides do to take place on the no moon day, Amavasya. And it's again a documented fact that maximum accidents happen on Trayodashi Tithi, which is when the air element is very high. So people tend to do a lot of speeding. But what I did want to explain to you is that we have two very significant, important phases of the moon called the Shukla Paksh and the Krishna Paksh. So let me explain this to you. Imagine this as the source, this hand of mine as the source, as Shiva, okay? On Amavasya, which is the new moon day, the sun and moon are together, okay? Which is why we are unable to see the moon in the sky. There's no light of the moon. Now, with each passing day, the moon begins to move one step further, to be exact, 12 degrees further, 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 further from its source. So, each step that it takes away has a name. Shukla Paksh Pratipada, Shukla Paksh Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dashami, Ekadashi, Dwadashi, Trayodashi, Chaturdashi, and finally, it's exactly opposite the sun, the source, Shiva, moon. It has moved away from its source. So we say that this part of Shukla Paksh is the part where the moon wants to get out in the world and assert its independence. Okay? It's always a more lighter journey emotionally. Now, when it is the full moon, so this is the full moon, the full light of the sun on the moon, you can see the moon in its glory. Now, from then, we start the waning phase of the moon called the Krishna Paksh, where with each step, the moon is coming closer and closer and closer back to its source. Let me ask you, if you are walking in the direction of the sun, what would it be like?
There'll be more light and warmth as I go nearer the sun.
Imagine Kali. Imagine this journey like Kali. Her hair are open. She's walking straight into the sun. She's getting sunburned. It's a very purifying kind of journey. It's very different. You're walking back into the heat. It's purification. It's transformation, right? So finally, Kali reaches here. The moon comes back here. Krishna Paksh Chaturdashi, one of the most difficult tithis to deal with emotionally. And then finally, Amavasya. It merges back. So, this is Amavasya. This is the first tithi of the waxing phase, Pratipada. Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dashami, Dwadashi, Ekadashi, Dwadashi, Trayodashi, Chaturdashi, and then Purnima, the 15th tithi. And then you see the moon goes smaller, 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 till it comes back to the Krishna Paksh, Amavasya. So this is the cycle of the moon. You see the moon every day. You see that the moon is becoming big, small, big, small. This is the cycle of the moon. And it's extremely important to your well-being, your emotional well-being. So each of these tithis, we call them tithi. This tithi, you are born on a particular tithi. Now say you are born on Amavasya tithi. Yes, you will have emotional issues. You have to start taking care of it. The moment you know that there is a weakness, and we all have weaknesses, it's nothing to get scared and terrified of. Oh my God, I've been born on Amavasya, my life is over. No, that means now you've got to fight it, you've got to improve it, you've got to work at it. I mean, if you are diabetic, you can't just keep having sweets, right? What do? You take care, you avoid it. So, certain tithis do call for more upheavals in your emotions. And it's important to know where you are and which tithi you were born at, because this is what invites. Now, for instance, someone born on, Shukla Paksh Dwadashi, on Trayodashi, or even Krishna Paksh, Dvitiya, Panchami. These are all very good, auspicious tithis, because they take care of a lot of the mental burden for you. That water content is high. You will give that benefit of doubt to everyone, because the moment your moon becomes weak, you are very prone to loneliness. You feel very insecure. You will feel like everyone's against me, things like that. So heightened emotions. But when the moon is in equilibrium, and this is how the moon is in equilibrium, you can know, right? If you were born close to a Purnima, yes, your moon is quite strong. No one can rattle you easily, right? So you will see some people, they are very thick-skinned. They haven't developed it, they were born with it, first of all. So you'll see that they are able to deal with things a lot easier. Things don't affect them. Something may affect you for 5 days, that person 5 minutes, and it's done with. This is all the strength of the moon. Now, the other water element planet, that we have to, that's so important to all of us, is Venus. Venus is, if there was no Venus Shukra Graha, there would be no color in your life. We would all be like this black and white canvas. Venus is the color. Venus is the color in your life. Venus is love, relationships, comforts, harmony, your sex life, your ability to receive others with compassion, and your ability to receive that from others as well. So Venus is a very, very important planet. I know most people think of it more in terms of material things, but it's also beyond that. Venus is the ability to give unconditional love to all and to live in harmony with everyone, right? So Venus, yes, does represent beauty, how charming you are, how affectionate you are, your artistic qualities is all Venus. Venus loves the arts, music, dancing, painting, all of that is Venus. Venus, when very good in your chart, always will be like this. You will be an expert in lovemaking for sure. Besides, amongst many things, you'd have a very diplomatic quality about you that people will want to sort of they'd like to copy as well. So Venus is about giving unconditional love to all. Venus is about beauty, but inner beauty. Okay. When Venus is negative in a birth chart, it will resonate as excessive need for luxury. I have 500 shoes, I need 1,000. It will resonate as complete overindulgence in everything of your life. Your ability to share with others. You're always in competition with other women. You're always, and of course, this resonates in all relationships with women. It will lead to a very average married life, very average sex life, problems in vision. I don't really mean eyesight here, but I mean vision. I mean, a simple thing. When you know that you have to live with XYZ people, you live in a joint family, why would you be, say, bitchy to them or have to play pot? I mean, that's a complete lack of vision, because those relationships are for life. Like, why would you do that? Right? So, when you have a negative Venus, you will, in any case, have problems with women in general. Because, look, Venus is your desire for connection, right? And it kind of aligns with Shakti's part of nurturing and encouraging us to build loving relationships, harmonious relationships, because this is all the influence of how does Devi come down into our lives. It's through Moon and Venus. It's these two, right? Like if we have to improve our Venus, we pray to Mahalakshmi. If I have to improve my Moon, I pray to Goddess Durga. If I want fearlessness, I will pray to Kali. Simple. If I want all three, I take up Durga sadhana, Shakti sadhana, Shri Vidya sadhana. But I'm sure we all want all of these things, correct? We don't want one or the other. We want it all. So, to kind of give you some real life everyday tips, for both Moon and Venus, you've just a very simple thing, but it's so difficult for women to do. So difficult. Be nice to other women. Be nice to other women. There is so much on the internet today on Instagram about how Women's Day and all of that. But I do have to say that women are sometimes women's greatest enemies. Look at every other household. Daughters and daughter-in-laws, mother-in-laws, and it's just never ending. A daughter-in-law and a daughter-in-law and a daughter starting, say, a business together at the same time, the mother-in-law will only go all gunzo about the daughter's work. The daughter-in-law may be treated like she doesn't exist. There are daughter-in-laws who don't give that respect to their mother-in-laws at all. Only my mother is important, my mother-in-law is not important. It's all over. It's all over. It's in every household. Yet we come out of our houses and we talk about Women's Day. If I ask all of you in this room today attending this talk, I can bet you that you have been more wronged, more traumatized by women in your life than actually by men. So give that a thought, because you're only harming yourself. The moment you start being more compassionate to your own gender, you will find that you will attract all the qualities of Mahalakshmi. Whether it's a beautiful bag, if that is what you want, it's jewelry, or it's just the ability to find love in your life, it will all come far easily. Hurt a woman, and you will suffer the consequences in all of these areas, first and foremost. So fight. Women are the biggest perpetrators of patriarchy. If a woman is physically abused in a home, the mother, the sisters, the relatives will say, keep quiet about it, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Keep it, keep the peace, keep the peace. Most people will never come and stand up. In the Gita, there's so much talk about passive resistance to evil. When you see another woman traumatize another woman, stand up. It doesn't matter if they have power or if they are the matriarch or whatever. Fight for each other. Because when you start fighting for each other, you will also improve all of these things. Because dharma, good action is good action. There's no two ways about it. There's no my right is my right and your right is your right. No. Dharma is dharma. There is a universal code of conduct. Doing your duty is the best thing for Saturn. Whether someone's not nice to you or whatever, your mother-in-law may not be very nice to you, your sister-in-law may not be very nice to you, you do your basic duty. Keep your distance, sure. But understand that family relations carry the most amount of karma. They've come into your life, you didn't choose them. They carry a lot of karma. Sometimes you should actually thank them, because through them you burn a lot of karma. A lot of karma. So, to be that model woman, to be a balance of all, I think that we first have to introspect about what we are doing. about how we are, how do we treat others. You have a friend, you're say you have a bakery, but you have another friend who started a bakery. You're like, oh my God, she better not get more clients than me. Put out something for her. Tell 5 people about her. She's starting off. It doesn't matter. There's enough space for all of us here. There's no competition. Do something for others. You liked something someone did, you like to talk about it. You liked someone, something you bought from somewhere, or you had a great dealing with someone, talk about it. Help. Women need to help women. Women's Day is not a day that you just come out and dish the men. Some men have been amazing. Some men are so compassionate. And along, I mean, our fathers, our brothers, our husbands. So try not to get stuck in this feminism, etc. Understand your own action, understand what you need to do, and be good to all. Worry about only your action, because that's all that's going to take you through. Your relationship is not with anyone here, it's with him over there, right? And so that action is that judgment is all that matters. So as women, yes, there's so many different roles that we play, in one day we are catering to so many people. Our husband needs some medicine, our in-laws need something, you are doing your own work, you have children whose homework is not done, the teacher is calling you and saying, "Aap kya kaisi maa ho, kya kar rahe ho?" I mean, there's just so much we do in an entire day. The most important takeaway I hope from this talk today was that we have to balance and keep our mind in equilibrium. Our water element has to be taken care of, because once we have that under our belt, then we are Durga. We are invincible.